wanted to share a little tip as far as medicating a horse goes. If you have your own horse, you're probably going to run into a point where you have to put something in their mouth, whether it be dewormer, or in Jackson's case, he had stomach ulcers. So we had to give him some medication for a long period of time. And before we did that, we kind of desensitized him to some molasses water. I probably could have made this a little bit less thick than what it is, but he hasn't had this in several months. But I do this with all the horses just in case something comes up. He knows what it is. What you do is just kind of desensitize them. I did it on both sides. You want your molasses water? So just like you're gonna give them dewormer or something, he knows exactly what it is. I have to be careful with him because he knows what it is and he tries to grab it with his front teeth. But I just shoot it in there, and before he got his omeprazole or the medication he had for ulcers, I did it before we got the medication in, so I had done it for several days. And what I would do is I would give him this, and then I would give him the medication, and then this again. And I did it on both sides of his brain because they have two sides of their brain. You have to train them on both, and I just kind of desensitized both sides of him. Ready? And so the idea behind it is, he kind of sucks on it too, and it's really cute. But the idea is that he's getting something really good, like you're kind of eating a bag of potato chips and then you kind of randomly get a nasty burnt one and you're just kind of like, ew, that was gross, but you don't stop eating the bag of chips. I would do this, and then I did this for a couple weeks after he got the medication. And like I said, I do this with all the horses. June's kind of staring at me right now. You want some? But he gets really excited about it. Medicating horses isn't always fun, especially whenever they've been sick, but during this whole process, I actually think you can do a lot of things with horses and get close to them relationship-wise. But I think, honestly, whenever they're sick is probably the time that I've gotten closest to my horses the most. Fleur's had a lot of issues, and we've had her for 18 years. We've had him for 18 years, and honestly, going through all the sick stuff with them is, I think, what's made me the closest to them. It made our bond a lot stronger. But just a little tip for you, some molasses water. So I'd love to take credit for this, but I cannot. But I just wanted to pass along the message, and in case you had any issues or if you have any other questions, just let us know. Like I said, I probably could have diluted this a little bit more, but he hasn't had molasses in a while, so it should be all right. You want some more? He normally is chatty with it, but he's not so chatty today, but he was asleep right before we came in here. You want some more? Okay. Yeah. And you can see we're doing this without a halter on his head or anything, and I'm still doing the same, kind of holding the other side of his face as if I would if it was medication or anything. But he would get very excited about his medication because of the molasses. So, all right, have a good day.